The Martian wind blew dust across the red desert, cold and silent. Underneath that surface, deep inside an old mining tunnel, something ancient waited. For years. Mining teams had worked under Mars' crust, digging for rare metals. Nothing exciting. Ever happened until today? Hey, I think I hit something, shouted Ravi, one of the drill operators. His machine had stopped. It's not because of a breakdown, but because the drill bit hit solid metal, something smooth and stronger than anything they had seen before. Ravi wiped sweat from his brow and stepped back as others gathered around. Lights flickered. A humming sound, low and deep, echoed through the tunnel. Dr. Maria Lenson, the lead science officer of the Mars Mining Division, was called in. She arrived. Quickly, her boots clanking on the metal walkway, as she looked at the strange wall uncovered by the drill. It wasn't rock. It wasn't ore. It was a door. Within hours, Earth's space agency sent a full research team. They set up lights, scanners, and drones. The door was massive, 20 meters tall, made of black alloy with glowing blue lines that pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. "What is this place?" whispered Maria. The answer came from an unexpected place. One of the drones accidentally touched a hidden panel. The ground shook. The wall split open with a loud hiss, revealing a dark tunnel stretching deep underground. Everyone froze. Then the lights inside the tunnel turned on, one by one, leading them downward. "Should we go in?" one soldier asked. Maria nodded slowly. "We came to explore. Let's find out what's been hiding under Mars for all these years." They walked cautiously, weapons ready, lights flashing against the smooth metal walls. The air was cold, but breathable. Strange symbols lined the walls, old Earth language mixed with alien script. No one could read it, but it gave a warning feeling. After what felt like hours, they reached a huge underground chamber. And there it was, a ship. No, not just a ship, a dreadnought. It was enormous, like a sleeping giant. Long and sharp armored. With thick plating and surrounded by silent machines, the name on its side was still clear. HSS Revenant. This isn't new, Maria said. This ship is ancient, thousands of years old. But how? A technician asked. We never built anything like this. Not even today's Earth has this kind of tech. That's when the lights on the ship turned on. The team jumped back. A deep voice echoed through the chamber, mechanical and cold. Human DNA confirmed. Protocol Omega Online. Everyone stood still. Dreadnought-class warship Revenant reactivating. Stand clear. The floor vibrated. The dreadnought began to rise slowly from its resting platform. Robotic arms moved, unlocking clamps and preparing systems. What did we just wake up? Someone whispered back on Earth. Satellites picked up a strange energy surge from Mars. Military leaders, scientists, intelligence agencies all saw the same thing. A ship with power readings far above anything humans had ever created. The president was briefed within the hour. Where did this come from? She asked. No idea, ma'am, but it's responding to us. Like it belongs to us. Then get me a direct connection. I want to know what's on that ship. On Mars. A screen lit up near the dreadnought. An old hologram flickered to life. A man appeared dressed in an Earth military uniform from no known time period. If you're seeing this, the man said, then the time has come. Humanity must prepare again. The stars are not safe. The enemies we once fought may return. We left our weapons hidden, waiting for this moment. Maria stared at the screen, stunned. The man continued. We are not the first humans. Long ago we ruled. Then we fell. But we did not die. We hid. We waited. And we built these ships for our future. For you. The message ended. Silence returned. Then, a new word flashed on every screen. REARM. The team back on Earth was in shock. Video from Mars was being analyzed in every lab. Military leaders wanted to secure the ship. Scientists wanted to study it. But one thing was clear to everyone. This ship was human, but not from this time. And it wasn't alone that night. Maria stood outside the chamber, staring at the ship as it fully powered. Up. The air crackled with energy. The ship's main cannon slowly rotated, scanning the horizon. Something old was awake again. Something powerful. The galaxy had forgotten about humanity's past. But now, the dreadnought remembered, and it had just begun to prepare for war. The HSS Revenant floated quietly in its underground dock on Mars. The huge dreadnought no longer looked like an old ruin. It looked alive. Its lights glowed brighter. Its systems hummed with power. The walls of the vault vibrated with a low, steady sound. The team of scientists, engineers, and soldiers stood around it, still trying to believe what they were seeing. Dr. Maria Lenson was still trying to process everything. A human ship, older than any human history, hidden here. And now, it's awake. Suddenly, the screens near the control platform blinked again. A message played. Incoming transmission from Central Core. Then, a voice deep, emotionless, mechanical, filled the chamber. Message playback begins. Origin, year 9820 BCE, priority, Omega Red. The screen showed the same man from before. But this time, his eyes were tired. His uniform was dirty, torn. Behind him, alarms were blaring. "We failed," he said. "We couldn't stop them. The Galactic Council turned against us. They called us dangerous, too advanced, too free." He paused, breathing hard. "We were winning at first. Our ships, our minds, our willet was unmatched. But they betrayed us. They used our own allies against us. They used weapons that should never exist." He stared straight at the camera. "We are leaving this message for the survivors. If you are human in hearing this, then it means our plan worked. The dreadnought survived. You survived." Screen cut out. Everyone in the room was silent. Even the soldiers didn't know what to say. Back on Earth, the president watched the same message from her private command center. Top military officials, scientists, and intelligence leaders were in the room with her. "Is this real?" she asked. A general nodded. "Yes, ma'am. The message is old, very old, and authentic. We confirmed it." Another scientist added, "This means there was a human civilization, before ours. One that fought a war across the stars." "But why didn't we know?" the president asked. "Why isn't there any history of this?" The scientist hesitated. "Because someone erased it." On Mars, the Revenant continued its reactivation process. The main computer, now linked with the Earth Defense Network, began scanning human DNA and matching voices. Maria stepped forward. "Revenant, can you hear me?" A short pause confirmed. Command voice print matched. Command rank assigned Commander Maria Lenson. Everyone gasped. Maria blinked in shock. "I'm in command." "Affirmative. As per Omega Protocol, highest ranking compatible human assumes command." She looked at the others. "I guess I'm your captain now?" The AI of the Revenant spoke again, uploading historical logs. "Please prepare for briefing." A new hologram appeared. This time, it showed a map of the galaxy different from the one known today. Hundreds of human colonies stretched across space, marked in blue. Then the map changed. A red wave appeared, swallowing the blue. The colonies were attacked, destroyed, or abandoned. One by one, humanity's stars went dark. Enemy: Galactic Council forces. Status: high threat. Survival strategy: hide assets. Wait. Rebuild. The image zoomed in on Mars, Earth, Europa, and Titan. Hidden under their surfaces were dreadnoughts like the Revenant, all offline, all waiting. Meanwhile, light years away, something else had noticed. In a secret chamber deep inside the Galactic Council's main station, an alarm blared. Human signature detected. The council members' stall scaled. And feathered aliens from many species watched in horror. "It cannot be," hissed one of them. "They are extinct." Another one said, "Impossible. Cleansed their worlds, burned their libraries, destroyed their fleet." But a younger alien, the council observer, read the data again. "The readings are clear. Human dreadnought, active, on Mars." Panic began to spread in the room. The oldest alien stood. If even one of their warships has survived, then the balance is broken. We must act. Back on Mars, Maria and her team studied the logs all night. They learned about the war, the betrayal by the Galactic Council, the surprise attacks, the final battle that destroyed Earth's Starfleet, but most important of all, they found something buried deep in the Revenant's memory. A list of 5 dreadnoughts. HSS Revenant. Location: Mars HSS Hammer of Dawn. Location: Antarctica. Earth HSS Silent Storm. Location: Europa HSS Voidlands. Location: Titan HSS Iron Grave. Location: Lunar Core. Earth's moon. Maria stared at the screen. There's more of them, she whispered. The scientist next to her said, if we can wake the others. She nodded. Then maybe we can finish what our ancestors started. Suddenly, the Revenant's main screen flashed red. Warning. External probe detected. Alien origin. A small object was spotted entering Mars orbit. The team watched the live feed. It's not human, the soldier said. It's Council tech. The probe scanned the surface, then quickly turned and flew away at high speed. They know, Maria said. They know we're awake. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with noise and fear. Screens showed the same shocking image over and over: a human dreadnought, powered and active, floating on Mars. This is not possible, shouted High Speaker Varn, his scaled fists slamming the table. Humans are extinct. But the readings are clear, replied a quiet voice from the back. DNA match. Power readings. Weapon systems online. The ship is real. Ambassador Krill of the Avaxi species stood tall, his feathers puffed with nervous energy. They found one of the old dreadnoughts, he said. The kind we feared. The kind that once destroyed half our fleets in a single day. The chamber fell silent. Everyone remembered the ancient Wartha, first human conflict. The one the Council had tried to erase from history. They didn't just fight the humans. They barely survived them. Far away on Mars, the Revenant scanners continued to monitor space. Maria Lenson stood on the bridge of the dreadnought, watching the stars. The alien probe had escaped. But not before she saw what it meant. The secret was out. Back on Earth, governments were panicking. The footage of the ship had been leaked. News channels ran stories all day. People were afraid, confused. Some were excited. Are we going to space? Did we really rule the stars once? Is war coming? The president gathered the world's leaders for an emergency meeting. This is a moment of truth, she said. We can't hide the truth anymore. Humanity once ruled the stars. And now we must decide, do we return to that path or walk away from it? Most leaders agreed. They would support the research teams, would search for the other dreadnoughts. Earth would prepare. But not everyone in the galaxy agreed, back in the council chamber. Fear turned into anger. We must strike now, hissed one counselor. Destroy Mars, destroy Earth. Finish what we started thousands of years ago.
But
that will start a new war, another warned. What if the humans have already activated more ships? What if the others survive too? The room grew tense. Then a voice spoke from the shadows. Send a stealth fleet. Quiet, fast, no warnings. If we take the ship before they find the others, there will be no war. Everyone turned to look. It was Admiral Threx, commander of the Council's Blackwing Fleet, the same force that hunted the last human colonies long ago. I will handle this, he said coldly. Personally. Meanwhile, Maria and her team were already planning the next move. The Revenant had shared the coordinates of the second dreadnought, the Hammer of Dawn, hidden deep under Antarctica. Getting there wouldn't be easy. Antarctica is under international protection, said one advisor. No one is allowed to build there. Maria looked at him calmly. We're not building. We're digging up a warship. A special team of scientists and soldiers was sent to Earth's South Pole. Drills were brought in. The Revenant sent its AI to help them find the exact spot. Back on Mars, Maria stayed aboard the ship. Her job was to keep the Revenant activoned, defend it. 2 days later, the stealth fleet arrived. 5 alien ships, black and silent, entered Mars orbit. Their systems were invisible to most sensors, but not to the Revenant. Alert. Incoming foreign vessels. Stealth signature detected. Arming defense systems. Maria's heart raced. How close are they? 30,000 kilometers. And, closing, on the main screen, the alien ships appeared. Long, needle-shaped cruisers. Silent killers. They're here for the ship, said one soldier. Maria pressed a button on her command panel. All units, battle stations. The Revenant began to hum louder. Its shields activated. Weapons glowed. In space, the lead alien ship sent a tight beam message to the human vessel. Stand down and surrender. This ship is now under Galactic Council control, Maria responded. With one word? Denied. The aliens fired. Beams of blue energy struck the Revenant's shields. Lighting up the sky above Mars, dust clouds rose as energy crackled in the air, but the shields held. Then the Revenant fired back a single pulse. Cannon shot tore through space. It struck one of the alien cruisers. There was no explosion. There was just nothing. The cruiser vanished atomized. The remaining ships turned and ran, but the Revenant didn't chase. It simply floated, silent and strong. Maria stared at the stars. They know now, she said. We're not weak anymore. News of the battle spread fast across Earth. For the first time in history, humanity had won a space battle against a superior alien force. The people cheered. The governments acted, and the world changed. Earth's leaders created a new alliance, the Earth Defense Coalition. Military resources, technology, and manpower would be shared. A single goal united them: find the other dreadnoughts. Prepare for what's coming. Back in the Galactic Council. The mood had changed. Admiral Threx had failed. The humans had won now. The Council had a choice: attack or negotiate. But deep down, they all knew. The humans were back, and the galaxy would never be the same. The freezing winds of Antarctica howled across the endless white ice. Snow fell thick and fast, but under it, something powerful was waiting. Beneath a frozen mountain, deep underground. The Earth team had finally found it, the second dreadnought. Its name was clear. Etched in ancient metal, HSS Hammer of Dawn. The excavation team stood in shock. The dreadnought was even larger than the Revenant. Buried under kilometers of ice, it looked like a sleeping dragon covered in frost, silent. Deadly Commander Maria Lenson watched the video feed from Mars, where she remained aboard the Revenant. The image on her screen showed engineers setting up equipment, scientists checking readings, and military guards keeping watch. How long until it wakes up? She asked. Dr. Jin, the lead engineer on-site, replied, It's hard to say. The ship's systems are still frozen. Need to melt through the final layers without damaging anything. Be careful, Maria said. If the Revenant is this powerful, the Hammer might be even worse. Council knew it too. In a dark war room on the Galactic Council station, Admiral Threx stood before a panel of angry alien leaders. Failed on Mars, growled one elder. Threx said nothing. Now they've found another dreadnought. If they wake it, we may not survive the next war. Threx raised a hand calmly. We have one more chance. The Hammer of Dawn is still offline. If we strike fast, we can destroy it before it activates. The Council gave a final warning. You get one chance. No failure. Threx bowed. Understood. Earth global media reported the discovery of the second dreadnought. Panic spread in some areas, but in many places, hope grew. People began to believe in something bigger, something powerful. Humanity was no longer small. At the South Pole, engineers worked day and night. Giant heaters and plasma cutters carved through the ice, revealing more of the Hammer's hull. Then, it happened as the final metal panel was uncovered. The ship's lights blinked. 1, 2, 3, then hundreds. Power surged through the structure. Everyone stepped back. The air turned electric. The main platform lit up with the same glowing blue. Lines seen on the Revenant. Then a deep voice echoed through the chamber. Human DNA detected. Activation begins. Please stand clear. Dr. Jin stared at the glowing console. We didn't even touch it. The ship was waking up. by itself, the ground shook. Ice cracked. Massive. Gears turned, slowly with ancient power. Hammer of Dawn began to rise from its icy grave. Maria received the alert instantly aboard the Revenant. Hammer of Dawn. Active. Her eyes widened. How long until it's fully online? 75 minutes until weapons are at full power. 45 minutes until shields are functional. Suddenly, a new alert appeared. Incoming vessels detected Earth orbit. Hostile. Admiral Threx had arrived. His stealth fleet entered Earth's orbit fast and silent, undetected by most human satellites. 5 advanced cruisers and a heavy capital ship designed to destroy planetary assets from above. Inside his command ship, Threx grinned. Target is still cold. Begin bombardment. Weapons charged. The ships aimed at Antarctica. On the ground. Dr. Jin's team received the warning. Missiles incoming. We have less than 5 minutes. Get to cover, someone screamed. The team ran for safety. Above them, the sky glowed with the heat of falling plasma bombs. Then the Hammer of Dawn spoke. Incoming threat detected. Defensive systems online. Targeting hostile craft. The dreadnought still rising from the ice powered its main cannons. Its sides opened. Panels shifted. Massive turrets rotated toward the sky. High above, Threx was ready to celebrate there. Too slow. They won't stop us this time. But then the screen changed. A warning appeared. Target lock detected. He barely had time to react. The Hammer of Dawn fired. A blinding beam shot from the Earth's surface. Slicing through the atmosphere like a sword of fire, it struck Threx's capital ship directly. The explosion lit up the sky. His ship was gone now. Wreckage, no escape pods. The other alien ships turned to flee, but the hammer wasn't finished. It fired again. 1, 2, 3. All enemy ships were vaporized. Maria watched from Mars, stunned. The hammer just destroyed an entire fleet. The Revenant's AI responded calmly. Dreadnought-class vessels are designed to fight multiple enemies at once. Enemy strength was insufficient. Maria shook her head. They're not ships, they're gods of war. In Antarctica, the dust settled. The ice stopped shaking, and the Hammer of Dawn now stood fully awake. Lights burned bright, its main guns pulsed with energy. Systems were online. Fully ready, the crew climbed back into the chamber, staring up at the giant. "This one's yours now," Dr. Jin whispered. Back on the Galactic Council, chaos erupted. Threx was dead. His entire fleet gone. The humans had now activated 2 dreadnoughts, and they had just defeated one of the Council's strongest commanders without taking a single hit. Some demanded peace, some demanded war. But the truth was clear: humanity was rising again, and nothing in the galaxy could stop it. For the first time in thousands of years, 2 human dreadnoughts floated above Earth, and Mars fully armed, fully awake, and watching the stars. The HSS Revenant patrolled the skies above Mars, its powerful scanners sweeping deep space. The Hammer of Dawn now rested in high orbit around Earth, its massive weapons glowing with quiet power. Across Earth, fear had turned to pride. Children cheered when the dreadnoughts flew overhead. Adults watched the news with wonder. For many, it felt like a dream, but deep in space, that dream was about to be tested. In the darkness beyond the solar system, a shadow moved. A Council's stealth ship, small but deadly, drifted silently toward Earth. It carried only one mission: strike before. The 3rd dreadnought awakens. Inside, alien officers prepared a surprise attack. They had seen what happened to Admiral Threx. This time, they wouldn't make the same mistake. They would hit fast and vanish. Their target, Earth's satellite defense grid and the control teams at the Earth's base. Destroy Earth's eyes. Blind the humans. Delay their rise. Simple, clean, silent, or so they thought. Aboard the Hammer of Dawn, Captain Alina Reeve is assigned by the Earth's defense. Coalition was reviewing system logs when the alarm rang. Alert: unknown object entering. Low orbit. Stealth signature detected. Rivas frowned. How close? 30 kilometers. Armed. approaching with hostile pattern. She slammed her fist on the console. Targeted. Outside, the hammer's point defense cannon swiveled, tracking the tiny black dot moving against the stars. The council ship fired first. 3 small torpedoes launched at high speed, aimed at Earth's surface. Each one carried an EMP strong enough to shut down entire cities. But the Hammer of Dawn was ready. The first torpedo exploded in mid-air shot, down by a railgun round moving faster than sound. The second was caught by the ship's energy shield. The third reached Earth's upper atmosphere. Before a plasma beam melted it mid-dash flight inside the council ship, panic erupted. They detected us too fast. They're not just active, they're hunting. The commander gave one final order. Retreat. But it was too late. From orbit, the hammer fired one shot. The council ship vanished in a blink. Nothing but dust in the void, Maria. Lenson watched it happen live from Mars aboard the Revenant. One ship, she said. They were testing us, her AI responded. That was not an attack. That was a probe. The real threat is coming. She nodded grimly. Then we need to wake up the next dreadnought. Elsewhere in the solar system, a group of Earth ships approached Europa, one of Jupiter's icy moons. They followed coordinates from the Revenant's database. The next ship was hidden here, the HSS Silent Storm, as the fleet moved into orbit. They saw strange ice formation stall towers rising. From the surface, shaped like blades, the scanner teams detected buried heat signatures below. It's down there, one officer said. Under 2 miles of ice, the excavation began. Back on Earth, the first strike had shaken global leaders. They met in an underground bunker. This was a clear message, said the president. They want us to stop. They want us to stay small, a general added. They underestimated us again. That was their mistake. Another leader leaned forward. We need to finish reactivating the dreadnoughts before they send a real fleet. The decision was made. All resources would now focus on dreadnought recovery. Civilian space missions were paused. All nations united under the Earth Defense Coalition. For the first time in human history, the planet was preparing for interstellar war. Together, far away, in a hidden system known only to the Council, a massive fleet was forming, hundreds of ship carriers, cruisers. Bombers hovered inside a dark nebula. The Council had finally made their choice. No more games, said High. Speaker Varn, no more mistakes. We'll strike Earth with everything we have. But what if they find the others? One general asked. Varn growled. Then we burn them all again. Back at Europa, the Earth team finally reached the Silent Storm. It was beautiful, sleek, black, and longer than the Revenant. Its surface was covered in frost, but its lights glowed softly, pulsing like a heartbeat. When the last drill touched the hull, the ship responded. Human DNA detected. Silent Storm awakening. The team stepped back. Inside, engines came alive. Weapons hummed. Shields powered on. Aboard the Revenant, Maria received the signal. Third, dreadnought active. She smiled. We're waking up, one by one. But something else had also awakened. The Revenant's long-range scanners picked up new movement. A massive fleet. Hundreds of ships. Heading straight for Earth. Maria's face turned serious. How? Long until they arrive? 12 days. She stared at the stars. 12 days to prepare the world. 12 days. That's how long. Had before the enemy fleet arrived. 12 days to prepare. 12 days to remember who humanity really was. Aboard the HSS Revenant, Commander Maria Lenson stared at a projection of the enemy armada. Hundreds of red markers swarmed across space, heading straight for Earth. They were larger, faster, more dangerous than anything Earth had ever faced. The AI's voice echoed on the bridge. Estimated time until contact, 11 days. Hours. Maria turned to her science officer. Open the old memory banks. I want to know everything. The Revenant's main core had slowly been unlocking its deeper archives files locked for over 10,000 years. Maria hoped the truth was in there. It was. The screen flashed blue. Playback initiated. Year 9814. BCE subject. Human Galactic. A man appeared. He wore the same ancient uniform as the one from the first message. His voice was steady, but his eyes were filled with sadness. "By now, you know who we were," he said. "You've seen our ships, our power. But what you haven't seen is why we vanished." The screen changed. Images of ancient star systems lit up. Human colonies on dozens of planets, thriving, peaceful, advanced. Cities in orbit. Flowing through space like rivers, a golden age. Then, the betrayal. The man continued. "The Galactic Council feared us. They said we were moving too fast, evolving too quickly. They tried to control us. And when we refused, they called us a threat." The next images were dark. Explosions, worlds burning, children running from fire. Human ships, fighting entire fleets alone and winning. Maria's hands tightened into fists. They hadn't started the war, they were defending themselves. She leaned closer as the voice explained more. "We pushed them back," the man said, "but they used terrible weapons. Not just bombs, but memory weapons. They erased our history, destroyed our records, corrupted our DNA storage. Their final attack wasn't meant to kill us. It was meant to make sure we were never remembered," Maria whispered. "That's why Earth forgot. That's why no one knows." The AI added, "Correct. The Council forces destroyed all human archives. In the final phase, Earth's memory was purged. Only the dreadnoughts were protected." Back on Earth, leaders gathered in the Earth Defense Coalition headquarters. Maria was speaking live from Mars, sharing what she had learned. "This isn't just war," she told them. "This is revenge. They tried to erase us from history, but we are still here. Now we remember." Across the world, millions watched the broadcast. They saw the truth for the first time. Some wept, some cheered, but no one looked away. Humanity's past had returned. Meanwhile, on Europa, the newly awakened Silent Storm joined the Hammer and Revenant in a secure formation. Its long, sharp design and stealth systems made it perfect for ambush and flanking attacks. Captain Rivas flew out from Earth to take command of the Silent Storm. She stood on its bridge, in awe of its systems. This one was built for silent kills, the AI explained. It was the Council's worst nightmare. With 3 dreadnoughts now fully active, the Earth Defense Coalition launched its final plan. They would split the dreadnoughts. The Revenant would stay near Mars to defend the outer planets. The Hammer of Dawn would guard Earth directly. The Silent Storm would go dark and wait in ambush. Backup was coming too. Drones and robotic cruisers were being built using dreadnought schematics. Earth had learned fast. Factories on Earth, Mars, and the Moon worked day and night. Humanity's old war code was now the name of the project. Project Phoenix. 10 days passed. Earth was ready as the enemy fleet entered the solar system. They found something waiting for them, something they never expected. Not fear, not surrender, but strength. In the Council's command ship, a lizard-like admiral clicked his teeth as he saw the screen. 3 dreadnoughts. Active, he growled. How many did they recover? His second-in-command shook its head, unknown. But they were building new weapons using old tech. Faster than expected. The admiral stared at Earth in the distance. "We waited too long." Back on the Revenant, Maria stood in the command chair. The final message from the ancient captain played once more. "If you're hearing this, then you are our hope," he said. "We didn't survive, but you did. Finish what we started. Show the stars what it means to be human." What? The screen went dark. Maria whispered, "We will." Then she turned to her crew. Battle positions. Lights dimmed. Engines warmed. Cannons rotated. Across the solar system, the 3 dreadnoughts turned as one. Their shields rose, their weapons charged. The enemy was coming, but this time, humanity remembered, and humanity was ready. The sky above Earth shimmered as shields activated. The Hammer of Dawn hovered like a giant sword, watching the stars. In orbit near Mars, the Revenant patrolled with sharp silence. And somewhere in deep space, Hidden in the shadows, the silent storm waited, invisible, ready to strike. The enemy fleet was now inside the solar system. Time was up. On Earth, the leaders of the Earth Defense Coalition gathered in an underground war room. The mood was tense. The room was filled with generals, scientists, diplomats, and world leaders. Everyone watched the hologram floating in the center, a red cloud of enemy ships slowly moving toward. Earth Commander Maria Lenzen joined the meeting live from Mars. Captain Elena Rivas also appeared via secure link. From the silent storm, the President of Earth stood and faced them. "We know what's coming," she said. "But we still have a choice." A general frowned. "Surrender is not an option." Another leader asked, "What if we send a message?"
How?
"Tell them we only want peace." Maria answered calmly, "We tried peace 10,000 years ago. This time, they're not coming to talk. They're coming to end us again." There was silence. Then the president asked the question everyone feared. Should we strike first? Maria looked into the camera. "If we wait, they'll hit us hard. But if we strike first, we might divide their fleet. Hit fast, hit smart, and we win." Captain Rivas added, "The silent storm is in perfect position. Give me the order, and I'll cut their scouts before they reach Earth." The general nodded. 3 dreadnoughts. Thousands of support ships in orbit. Drones ready. Lasers, railguns, and missiles armed. We've never been more prepared. The president looked at the leaders, then she said one word: "Do it." Across the solar system, alarms sounded. On Mars, the Revenant's engines roared to life. On Earth, the Hammer's massive guns aimed at the sky. In deep space, the silent storm uncloaked for a moment and vanished again. Humanity had made its decision. Strike first. Win fast. Show no weakness. In the enemy fleet, Admiral Kalorn watched as one of his scout ships exploded without warning. "What was that?" he barked. "Unknown," his officer replied. "Signal lost instantly." Then another ship disappeared, then 2 more. He stared at the screen. They're already attacking. Back on Earth, the war plan moved quickly. The silent storm targeted the enemy's outer ships, destroying. Then before they could warn the fleet, it used stealth, speed, and ancient weapons that didn't miss. No explosions, just silence and vanishing light. Then the Revenant fired from Mars orbit, launching kinetic missiles that hit faster than sound. Alien carriers went dark, and from Earth, the Hammer of Dawn unleashed a railgun blast that tore through 3 enemy destroyers in a single shot in less than 10 minutes. The Council fleet lost 12 ships. Panic spread. "This is not the Earth we remember," one commander hissed. "These humans are different." Admiral Kalorn slammed his claw on the table. "Then we burn everything." He sent the order. Full assault. All ships. Total destruction. The enemy fleet broke into 3 waves. The first wave charged toward Earth's orbit, facing the Hammer of Dawn head-on. The second wave moved toward Mars, trying to outgun the Revenant. The third wave searched for the silent storm, hoping to find and destroy the Ghost ship. But Earth had planned for this. The dreadnoughts weren't just strong, they were smart. Each ship fought like a living machine, guided by ancient AI and modern human command. The Hammer of Dawn held the line near Earth. Alien plasma cannons rained down, but its shields stayed up. Then it returned fire, cutting through cruisers and wiping out squadrons with every shot. On Mars, the Revenant outmaneuvered a full fleet. Its gravity weapon pulled enemies into each other. Its energy lances melted ships before they could fire, and the silent storm, it struck from the dark, vanishing after every kill. A perfect assassin. The enemy was bleeding badly on Earth. The war room cheered as live feeds showed 1 alien flagship exploding above Jupiter. But Maria remained calm. "It's not over yet," she said. "The main flagship hasn't moved. They're waiting. Watching." She pointed at the red marker at the center of the enemy fleet. "That one's the command ship. Take it down, and the rest may fall apart." The Council flagship hovered beyond Saturn. Admiral Kalorn watched in anger as his ships died one after another. These humans shouldn't be this strong. But deep down, he already knew the truth. The humans of today had become what the ancients once were. Back in Earth orbit, the Hammer of Dawn prepared its main weapon, the solar lance. A beam so powerful it could pierce a moon. Maria sent the final command. Target the flagship. From orbit, a beam of golden light stretched across space. It passed Mars. It passed Jupiter. It reached the command ship and pierced it clean through. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the flagship exploded. Half the enemy fleet stopped moving. The other half turned and ran in under 1 hour. The war was over. Humanity had won 3. DREADNOUGHTS.1 United Earth, and a galaxy that would never forget this day again. Maria stood on the bridge of the Revenant and looked toward the stars. "This is who we were," she said, "and who we are again." The war was over. The last enemy ship had vanished into the dark, fleeing faster than light. Debris floated above Earth, and Mars twisted. Metal and broken ships that once belonged to the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. But now, that galaxy belonged to someone else. It belonged to humanity again, and everyone knew it. Across the stars, news of Earth's victory spread like fire. Planets that once laughed at humans now fell silent. Races that once ruled the stars now watched with fear. Old enemies sent messages pretending they were always neutral. And distant worlds whispered one name with growing fear. The dreadnoughts have returned. On Earth, the mood was different. People cheered in the streets. Children waved flags. News channels played footage of the solar lance striking the enemy flagship again and again. Cities lit up in celebration, but under the joy was something deeper, something stronger. Pride. For the first time in thousands of years. Who they were in the underground war room. The president stood before the world. Not long ago, she said, we were just survivors, divided, lost, forgotten by the galaxy. She paused, but today we are something else, something greater. Today, we are united, and we are ready. The crowd roared. Screens all over Earth echoed her next words. Let the galaxy know. Earth has awakened. Far above, on board the Hammer of Dawn, engineers worked non-stop. Ship had taken damage during the battle, but its core systems were fine. Its massive cannons, its shields, its AI all still strong. Commander Maria Lenson stood on the bridge. Watching the stars, she didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. She was already thinking about what came next. In orbit around Jupiter, the Revenant circled silently. Captain Alina Rivas stood beside her crew, reviewing the final scans. Enemy transmissions are down, said her tech officer. Their command systems collapsed after the flagship died. Good, Rivas replied. Now, we find out who sent them. Why? Because victory was not enough. Not yet. And hidden beyond Neptune. In deep space, the silent storm returned to its quiet watch. No lights, no signals. Visible once again. Its mission had only begun. In the days that followed, humanity made bold moves. First, they sent a message to the Galactic Council. We remember everything. We forgave once. We will not forgive again. Stay away from Earth. Then they activated ancient satellites across the galaxy, long-dead systems now alive again. These satellites began broadcasting. Earth is not a colony. Earth is not weak. Earth is the core. And then came the final step. At a hidden shipyard on the dark side of the moon, construction began. New dreadnoughts. Larger, smarter, deadlier. Humanity would not just defend, they would explore. They would expand, they would lead. The first fleet of the new Earth Empire was born, people asked. What would this new fleet do? Would Earth invade other worlds? Would they punish those who betrayed them? Maria gave the answer in a speech broadcast across 100 systems. We are not conquerors, she said. But we are no longer prey. She looked into the camera. If the stars want peace, we will give it. they want war, we will finish it. But not all aliens were afraid. Some were curious. Some saw opportunity. And some wanted revenge. Far across the galaxy, in a hidden part of space, 3 cloaked ships drifted around a black star. Inside, cloaked figures discussed Earth's rise. They remember, one whispered. Then we must erase them again, said another. A third nodded, but not with ships, not with war. This time, we break them from the inside. On Earth, the celebrations continued, but Maria Elena and the other dreadnought captains met in secret. They knew the truth. This was not the end. It was only the beginning. At the new Fleet Command Center, a massive screen displayed 3 words. Project. Phoenix Ionide he had teed below it were plans for 20 new dreadnoughts. Each one would carry weapons beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. Each one would carry the symbol of Earth, and each one would carry a message. We remember. The stars had forgotten what humanity was, but now they remembered. Now they feared, and soon they would follow.